Hello, my name is Atish Mathur, and I wanted to take a few minutes of your time to address you with respect to the upcoming prelims exam. 1st of October has arrived, and when the calendar strikes October, it does have a psychological impact on all of you because the exam is now real, the exam is now close, and the exam is tangible. The purpose of this interaction with you is to first speak to you about how you're feeling and then advise you on a few things that might help you prepare better and fare better with this exam. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is how you're feeling. Some of you might have reached a point of saturation where you're just not able to process studying. Some of you, while revising, might not be able to recall what you have already studied. Some of you might be a little worried with the diverse performance in your prelims mock tests. While some of you might also be questioning whether you should be writing the 2020 attempt or not. What I broadly want to tell you is, what you are feeling, what you are going through is perfectly natural. You're not the only one. Everybody who's preparing for this exam, and I mean everybody, is going to go through the exact same thing. That does not make your anxiety any lesser. It just tells you that you have people to share your burden with. While this exam is often touted as the mother of all exams, this exam is actually smaller than it looks. While lakhs and lakhs of candidates do decide to appear for this exam, I can safely tell you that your actual prelims competition is not going to be more than 50 to 60,000 serious candidates. And a safe estimate would be about 10,000 people who would qualify the prelims exam. Which means, while it seems difficult to do, it actually isn't. Second, at no point of time, even the smartest of candidates, nobody knows more than 35 questions or 40 questions as short questions. Most people I know would know a maximum of 30 questions for sure in the prelims exam. Which means the rest of the questions are attempted through elimination, through logic, through tricks, and of course, through basic common sense. One of the smartest ways to attempt the prelims paper is to detach yourself from it. The most important quality that you should have, and I'm sure you will, is to maintain your absolute state of calm no matter how the paper seems like. Everything is about how calm you're going to be. And the reason is, if you are calm, you'll be able to look at the question as it is. Sometimes you will find the options to be too unbelievable. Sometimes you will find two options contradictory to each other. Sometimes you'll be able to eliminate an option and come to a logical, correct solution. These are some standard tricks that are very easily applicable to the prelims exam. And you will be able to apply those tricks. I'm sure all of you know those already, if you are calm. As far as anxiety is concerned, it is going to take a toll on your physical health as well. And you have to be very careful about it. At no point of time would you sacrifice your sleep or you would sacrifice your food habits because they are the fuel to your mind. Now I'd like to speak to you about three very specific things in particular. One, the duration from the 1st to the 9th of October. Second, on the 9th of October, the eve of your exam. And 10th of October, on your actual exam. I'm going to timestamp this video in such a way that you can watch a specific portion if you're interested only in viewing that. As far as 1st to the 9th of October is concerned, I'd like to talk to you about two things, the academic part and the non-academic part. As far as the academic part is concerned, it is extremely advisable for you to revise your 4 core GS subjects. no matter what the myth of current affairs is, at least 50% of your paper will always be static. You have to look at the GS paper not as a set of 100 questions, but as a subset of questions from specific subject areas. You have to score the most in your favorable subject area and manage the bare minimum in your least subject area or your least preferred subject area. And that's the game as far as the GS is concerned. Now, you should spend about 2.5 days revising history, 2.5 days revising geography and environment, a day each for polity and economics. That is about 7 days in total. While you do this, please make sure that you have also glanced past your papers and a few of your mocks on the side. If you still want to practice a few full lengths, you can, but make sure when you're practicing full lengths, you're also looking at their solutions, you're also looking at their explanations, right? As far as current affairs is concerned, be rest assured, UPSC is not going to ask current affairs from September 2020. The UPSC 2021. The UPSC is going to ask you questions before that. As long as you've done your yearly compilations, you are fine. Don't worry about it. You will still be able to manage it. As far as your general studies preparation is concerned, I've provided you some key resources. I will link them in the description box below. I've given you 7 full-length tests. I've given you a yearly roundup current affairs compilation of all subjects. I've given you a list of important schemes, reports, organizations and indices. All of them are readily available for your consideration. I have already issued them to you long ago. Please revise through them. I've curated them, I've crafted them with great precision, with great hard work, and please make sure that you go through them. They will help you in the long run. So that's that as far as GS is concerned. Do not under any circumstances change a source. Read a different primary book just because somebody else is telling you to do so. As far as CSAT is concerned, as long as you have done your past year papers, you're sorted. You will all know what your strong and your weak areas are. The first and the most important thing to do is glance your actual CSAT paper when you sit for it. Have a sense of what the paper really is. If there are long comprehensions with just one question each, then keep them as secondary priority. But if you have long questions with 4 questions each, long comprehensions with 4 questions each, please make sure you solve them if you're good with comprehensions. Remember, you don't need to top CSAT, you just need to qualify it. Okay, so take your time. Time is not going to be a problem. You just need to get a bare minimum benchmark. So that's that. Of course, if you could solve a few CSAT questions, work on your problem areas for an hour or hour and a half every day for the next 8-9 days, you will be fine. And that's that. Don't worry. Your academics is sorted. You've got this. Don't doubt yourself. Right? One of the most important elements of the preparation for this exam is telling yourself that you know what you're doing and you will be able to do it. Don't worry about it. Now, the non-academic parts are also as important, if not more, as far as the academics is concerned, because the non-academic portions can also affect you in the larger stability as far as the exam is concerned. I'll just take a few minutes of your time and run you through a few things that I think you should do. First, if your guardians or your parents are taking you to the test center, please make sure that they visited the test center once. If you yourself are going to go to the test center, please visit the test center beforehand. If the test center is in a very, very popular place and you know a general whereabouts of the area, it is fine. But you will then have to reach a little early just to be on the safer side. One of the reasons I recommend visiting the test center is because when you have that gap between GS and CSAT, you can identify a restaurant or a place where you can sit, relax, have something and just be cool. If the test center that you have been allotted is very, very far, then it is also advisable to take a place nearby to rest for a few hours. And that is perfectly acceptable, that's perfectly normal. You need to be your absolute well-rested self. But yes, visiting your test center and identifying places in and around where you could relax between your GS and CSAT break is absolutely essential. Slowly but steadily, from the 5th or the 6th of October, start realigning your sleep if you are somebody who's a night person. You will be your alert best if you had 6 to 8 hours of sleep. It will help you remain calm. It will help you also look at questions and not overread them, wrongly read them, or misread them. You will not misinterpret the options. This is a very tangible benefit of getting a decent night's sleep. It will also help you solve questions better, read comprehensions with better precision as far as CSAT is concerned. I know this sounds like a very school thing to say, but you are going to carry a bag to the exam. You should know exactly what the bag it is, and please keep a lock and key for it, because exam centers most often do not permit you to carry your bags inside. Your admit card and your identity proof. Please keep at least 3 to 5 copies of it. It does not matter if it is black and white or colored, but yes, do keep copies of your identity card. Also keep originals as well. Just in case, as a backup, I'm sure all of you may have a DigiLocker app. You can also download your identity cards from the DigiLocker app. Keep any version of the Aadhaar card also with you from the Aadhaar app. And also be safe on the other side, just in case you need to show it again for some reason. This is again a very minor thing to say, but please keep multiple pens for the exam. Only use the pens which have been clearly identified in your admit card. Do not use pens that will not be permitted as far as your OMR sheets are concerned. And keep at least 3 to 5 pens under all circumstances. In a very, very rare scenario, in case you mark an OMR circle wrong, carry a whitener or a blade for the necessary purposes. But don't overdo it. Use this only and only as a last resort, not as the first resort. And at the same time, in your bag itself, please make sure you carry certain medicines. Some of you may be stepping out of your houses after a long time. The heat, the cold, the wind, the rain may get to you. So please carry your medicines for headache, for body ache, for vomiting, for an upset stomach, a Glucon-D or an ORS solution. Please, under all circumstances, do that. Keep 2 water bottles ready. Preferably have in one water bottle, put some water in it. The other water bottle, please put a good beverage in it. Either an iced tea or Glucon-D or anything that keeps you going. Please make sure that you also keep some emergency snacks in your bag itself, a protein bar, some biscuits, some chocolates. Chocolates often help you stay alert and also, of course, give you a sense of satiation as well. Apart from that, when you are in the exam hall, in your trousers or in your skirt or whatever it is that you're wearing, in the pockets, please carry a separate medicine for a headache with you in the exam hall. Just in case you feel nauseous, just in case you are feeling a little off, please make sure you have the medicine with you at all times. Already know beforehand what clothes you're going to wear. Please don't wear tight clothes. Please don't wear clothes that make you uncomfortable. Wear loose clothes. Wear extremely comfortable clothes. You're going to be in a very, very uneasy classroom. Most classrooms are government school classrooms. Sometimes the chairs don't fit you. Sometimes it is a slight bit of an issue. Please remember that a lot of times exam centers do not allow for digital watches. The exam centers do not allow for smart watches. So if you have an analog watch, please carry it. If not, please don't hesitate to ask your invigilator how much time has lapsed and how much time is left. At the same time, at the exam center, if you're carrying a phone, because if you're going to the exam center by yourself, At the back of your phone, put a sticker with your name and phone number on it, because you have to deposit the phone at the exam center before you walk into your specific classrooms. Please make sure that you do that, because this is usually taken at the main gate itself. Apart from this, some exam centers, and it depends on the center superintendent, but to be on the safer side, please carry a transparent clipboard or plain clipboard. Do not carry a clipboard with anything written on it. Sometimes the exam center, the invigilators, take it away. And the reason is the desks sometimes are not proper, they're uneven, they're broken. You may have difficulty writing your exam. So please make sure that you carry proper clipboards and a handkerchief as well, because you might be sweating, or a hand towel, and sometimes your sweat will drop on the OMR sheet and blot the OMR sheet. So that's also something you have to be very, very careful of and be prepared for these circumstances. Now, on the 9th of October, a day before the exam, after 8:39, or worst case scenario 11:30, please wind up by night and sleep. Yes, it will happen that you will lie down, but you will not get sleep, you will not feel sleepy. In such a scenario, best case scenario is do a little bit of a workout, tire yourself physically, you may then fall asleep. Okay, don't think of the exam the night before the exam. It'll not let you sleep. So don't think of eventualities, don't think of what can go right, what can go wrong. Don't worry about it. It does not matter. Okay, it is extremely important and absolute non-negotiable for you to get a good night's sleep on the 9th of October. On the 9th of October, sleep for a bit, and before that, make sure you've revised, you've gone through your short notes, you've gone through your factual data sets, you've gone through your weird portions of the history and other parts of the syllabus. You're taken care of. Now, on 10th of October, right? Firstly, please book your cabs or your transport in advance. Know exactly how you're going to reach, and reach at least 20 to 25 minutes before. Second, what happens is when you're there, please check your roll number, your exam hall number very clearly. Sometimes you will misread it and reach the other end of the exam center, and then you will be running around from pillar to post, not knowing where your exact classroom or your exam center in that venue is. And don't worry, a lot of times what happens is when you sit, everybody has come in the classroom. Invigilators sometimes start the exam 5-10 minutes early, or sometimes start 5-10 minutes late. Don't worry about it. Even in those scenarios, don't worry, don't panic. If they started 5 minutes late, they will give you 5 more minutes. Don't worry about it. Don't let it get to you. Okay. Now, you have to fill something called an OMR sheet, and you have to also fill something called an attendance sheet. Please fill it very, very carefully, because you have to cross-reference your numbers on either of the sheets. It is countersigned by the examiner. It is countersigned by the invigilator. Please make sure that you fill it properly. Okay? Very, very important. If you're committing a mistake in filling your personal details in the OMR, you can ask the invigilator for another OMR sheet. If they say no, then make corrections and have them countersign on that OMR sheet. That's also perfectly fine, right? Now, although the instructions of the exam very clearly tell you do not write anything on the question paper, but you can use your own symbols to understand whether it is a question you surely knew, or you're eliminating by logic, or it is a pure fluke. It will help you come back to those questions in a layered format over and over again, right? Please either fill questions right after you solve them one by one, or in batches of 5 to 10, or fill in the OMR sheets of the questions on a specific page of the question paper, then move on, finish the page, finish the OMR. But under no circumstances, don't leave the OMR to be filled right at the end. You do that, it is a problem. The chances of you wrongly circling is extremely high. Don't do it. It is going to be a problem, right? And when you're performing your CSAT paper, there is adequate place for rough work. Please do your calculations very neatly, very clearly, carefully. There is no point of doing shabby calculations when you can't cross-check it, and therefore you can't cross-check your answers. It is extremely important between the GS and the CSAT paper. Don't discuss the paper with anyone. Sit back, have your meal, relax. Don't talk about how it went. Don't start speculating about cutoffs. It is completely fine. It does not matter. You are going to be okay. And this is extremely, extremely important, right? My contact details are on the website. I will also link them in the description box. I will be available throughout the day of the exam in case there is any issue that any one of you are facing with entry or exit, any logistical issue. If you are in Delhi and you're stuck somewhere and you need any help, please don't hesitate to call, to get in touch. I will immediately come to you. I will make sure that your problems are solved. If you're in any part of the country and there is an issue with the exam center, you can let me know. I will try and communicate, or I will try to get in touch with the center superintendent of that exam center, and I'll try to get the needful done. But don't worry, you've got this. You're going to be fine. And when you come back, I'm waiting for you. We've got a lot of things to do, and I may not believe in a higher power, but if I did, I pray for all of you to be healthy, to write this exam in the best possible manner, in the best possible way, and I wish you all the very best. Take care, and please, 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 don't harm yourself. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. We've got this. All the best.